You're watching NPO Showcase on GRTV. My next guest is Sarah Harris, an occupational therapist working with Disability Advocates of Kent County. Thanks so much for joining me today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
I know Disability Advocates of Kent County covers a lot of different programs and services throughout West Michigan. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the occupational therapy services you provide. First, let's tell our audience a little bit about what occupational therapy means in regard to people with disabilities and what Disability Advocates of Kent County, how they use occupational therapy to help their clients and patients.
So at Disability Advocates, our occupational therapy program is called Adaptive Home Solutions, and our therapists go in to evaluate someone in their home to ensure that they're safe, that they're as independent as possible, and that they can remain in their homes for as long as they choose to.
So you're evaluating their home and making recommendations. Does this cover things like appliances and the way the house is built, and how do some of those changes take place after you, cite what you make recommendations to them?
So after intake, one of our occupational therapists will come out and do an assessment with someone in their home, and they'll look at everything that person needs to do in their home and the home environment. And so sometimes fixes are very simple. We can get adaptive equipment, maybe a shower seat or a reacher or a special type of can opener would make things much easier for that person. Other times we do need to look at how the home is designed, and the home could require modifications. So maybe it needs a ramp if someone is using a wheelchair or walker. Maybe someone's bathroom needs to be remodeled so they're able to get into it, or they're able to use their shower versus stepping into a bathtub.
And how do people go about making these adjustments? Do you hook them up with resources? Is it more of a, we think you should do this, and then it's on their shoulders to go out and hire someone to do that work?
No, we follow through with them throughout the plan. So we have 5 therapists and an occupational therapy assistant. We follow up with them. We get them the equipment that they need. We make recommendations for modifications. We can work with them with builders and local resources, and so we can follow through with them until the home is modified however they need it to be.
I know depending on the disability, there's a variety of adaptive technology and equipment that could be used. Tell me a little bit about some of that equipment that you provide or have available for some of your patients.
So for our consumers, we have a pretty extensive equipment loan closet, and we have things available like walkers, wheelchairs, canes, reachers. We have more specialized equipment like adaptive eating utensils, plates, things to help in the kitchen, jar openers, can openers. We have items for people with low vision or with hearing loss, such as flashing doorbells or amplified telephones. Basically, if we don't have it in our loan closet, we typically can find and procure quite a few things that can help with someone who has a disability or is having an issue.
It's a really great resource. You also provide some, caregiver options as well for people that might need other assistance?
We do. So our Caregiver Solutions program is aimed at people who are age 60 or over who are caregivers, or people of any age who are caregiving for someone 60 or over. So this could be someone over 60 who's taking care of an adult, child or relative, or it could be someone my age or your age taking care of an older parent. And we go in, we assess the home, we assess the caregiver and the person receiving the care, and we make recommendations for equipment, for home modifications, and for adaptive techniques to make caregiving easier, less stressful, and safer for everybody.
That's great. So you're providing the resources directly to independent caregivers and allowing them to do their job more effectively.
Correct.
And then I know you have some other services such as the zero-step program that works with home building and local contractors and stuff like that. Tell me about that.
So the zero-step program was kind of conceived in 2005, and that came about because people were inquiring about how to build homes or buildings, but mostly homes, that were accessible and safe and would last for a lifetime. So a home that you could live in regardless of what changes might happen in your family. And in 2008, there were official guidelines developed for Zero Step as a reference for builders, designers, contractors, anyone building a home. They could look at this plan and say, I know that this home is going to work and be comfortable for someone, whether it's a small child or an older adult or someone with mobility issues.
Interesting. Well, that's a lot of things happening, you know, to make sure people are living in a comfortable and safe environment. What kind of ways do you have community members that want to get involved and help, or would you recommend, you know, do you have like information for builders that want to be a little bit more aware of some of these practices? What's the best step for these people that want to know more?
Oh, absolutely. So anyone, builders, or if you're thinking of having a home built or remodeling, you can always call our occupational therapy department at 616-949-1100, and we can go over that process with you and make recommendations. We can certify your home building plans as Zero Step as well. So
I'm excited to learn a little bit more about this, and I thank you so much for coming in and telling us about some of these really interesting things. I don't really think about, you know, some of these approaches to help our disabled community so much. So thank you for providing them to the community.
thank you.
Sarah Harris, the occupational therapist with Disability Advocates of Kent County, was my guest today, and you're watching NPO Showcase.